Aren't you glad a guy like Ravi Zacharias is still working, active, thinking, speaking, making a difference?
And speaking in universities, you know, he made so many great, compelling points. And, you know, our new CEO, Lorna Dueck, has been talking a lot about generation to generation, being able to pass on the torch. And that's really what Ravi was talking about, that there is hope, that there's hope in the future, and that there is a younger generation that is eager and hungry for those things of God.
Well, and I love what he talked about with dialogue, too, that he is the master of asking a question. So he often counters someone's question, particularly from a young person, with another question. Why do you ask? He talks about questioning the questioner, and man, there was so much packed into that.
Well, we're going to head over to our new CEO, Lorna Dueck. And Lorna, you've been talking about how the Bible kind of delves, or how you found kind of your job description in the Bible. You were talking about
I found
recently.
a good aspect of my job description in the Bible. So imagine trying to lead talented people like you guys, who meet great people like Ravi and all the other interviews that you'll have this week. But yeah, I had to do a little bit of soul searching myself in the great source of wisdom, the Bible. And so I'm really excited to take you all week this week on a really special part of what it means to be a CEO, and that it means to fuel this place. And of course, I go looking at the Bible for, does the Bible really need us to ask for money? And so I had to check that out. And to get a little bit of help with this, we're going to go to a favorite Bible scholar I have. I'd like to introduce to you Dr. August Konkel, who is a great friend I just know as Gus, because I've been learning from Gus Konkel, professor of Old Testament theology for decades already, but right now he's teaching at McMaster University as an Old Testament professor at the Divinity College there. And would you welcome Dr. Gus Konkel, a commentary writer, a good friend, former president at Providence Bible College. And Gus, I just had no idea that this whole thing of fundraising for me starts with God. And I thought, I have got to sit down with Gus and learn about these Old Testament passages with you. And so I want to every day this week we're going to explore a different one.
Yes.
But today I want to start with Exodus chapter 30.
Okay.
Okay, and we have to start with, who are the people of Israel and why was this tabernacle so important?
That's two very, very good questions, because most of Exodus is actually about the tabernacle. You can't put that into perspective, though, without knowing something about who these people are. And to answer that question, I'm going to go back to what Moses is instructed to tell them as they are about to receive this covenant at Mount Sinai, this relationship with God taken by vow. So here's what Moses says to these people back in chapter 19.
And you're reading out of Hebrew.
Well, that's the best way to do it, Lorna. I would encourage you to do the same, actually.
I will never learn Hebrew till heaven.
Well,
okay,
well, you can do it this way. You can say that you must observe my covenant, and you will be for me a treasured people, for all the earth is mine, and you will be for me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. This is who you are. Let's think about that for just a minute.
Wow.
You are in a relationship with God because of this covenant, in which you become, as a people, priests.
All of you
All of you are priests, because you now represent your Redeemer, your Creator, to all the earth which belongs to God. You've got to start there.
And so this is so important to God. Verse 11, Exodus 30, he says to Moses, take a census, count them.
Yes.
Count them. And then he goes on to ask for an atonement tax on everybody from 20 years and up. You are supposed to pay for belonging to God. Am I connecting the dots too much here? Because all of a sudden I went, oh my goodness, fundraising starts with God. God asks us to join him financially?
Well, all the earth belongs to God, so that pretty much would include finances as well, wouldn't it?
I didn't know he asked for a tax on my atonement.
Well, we need to come back again to the question of what was this tax all about? The problem today is we use the word God without thinking too much about what we really mean. I often wonder when I'm preaching to a congregation on Sunday morning how many different concepts of God I am dealing with just in one congregation. That's what has to become clear. In Canaan, in Egypt, there are all kinds of gods. Who is this who's asking for a tax? The answer? The tabernacle. Now, the tabernacle has in its basic structures the same kind of function as temples, places of God.
Huntley Street is a temple. It's the
temple
of the airwaves. It's
sure
where you gather to understand who God is and how you relate
correct.
to God.
It's representative.
Why I'm here. Yeah.
It's representative.
Yeah.
The tabernacle was the same thing. With this difference, the palace, or the tabernacle in this case, because it's portable, it's a tent of God, pictures him as being behind the curtain, on the throne, in the thick darkness. You won't find anything like that anywhere else, because it's telling you this: God does not belong to the world. He created it and owns it. He is holy. And you now are set apart within this creation to represent the presence of the Creator in the world. All other gods belong to the world. All other gods come from the world. Not this one. He's behind the curtain. He's in the thick darkness. He is holy. And therefore, this is the way you make your confession about your Redeemer and your Creator.
You must go to the tabernacle. And so its structure was so important. Good thing you're with us every day, right up until David's birthday. You're with us every day, because we just have to understand this. So receive the atonement money. Here's verse 16, Exodus 30:16. Receive the atonement money and use it for the service of the tent of the meeting. This great mighty God still needed their money. He wanted their money.
Yes, and they needed to give it. So there's two aspects to it. In fact, it's an expiation, which means that there's a certain danger in life. We all need security. We all need safety. Where are they going to find this? In the God that they trust, the God that's represented in this tabernacle. And the point here, every person. This isn't just some.
Every person.
Every person.
Gus, do you think that's why we do mass mailings here?
Every
person we call these mass mailings. Okay, all the new stuff I'm learning in my job.
You want to hear from every person.
We want to hear from every person. So hopefully you got one of these in the mail, you at home. And I would love you to look at this, prayerfully consider helping us in our ask, which it happens every August. We hit this really hard so we can finish our year end in abundance. And if you don't get the letter, you can still help us by calling our 1-800 line, 265-3100, or donate online. Go to 100huntley.com. Gus, thank you. We are really serious about making sure this isn't just Huntley's idea that we're going to raise money. No. It's actually God's idea.
It is. We are here representing Him, His presence in the world, and the only way that can happen is with the tax of our lives that supports it.
All right. Okay, we're going to talk again tomorrow. We're going to move into Chronicles, which is your specialty. You've done Bible commentaries on Chronicles.
Correct.
All right. Wow. Carrie and Maggie, I think there's something to think about there.
Yeah,
Thank you.
There really is. Appreciate that a lot. And